Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, my Dandavat Pranam Mata at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Thank you so much for your wonderful services, Mataji, and thank you for your wonderful association and being the backbone of Bhakti Sangha, Mataji. Please keep giving us your blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. This is Shama Guri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shama Guru Mataji, my humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Maharajas. Thank you so much for blessing us with your association every day, year after year, Mataji. All glories to your beautiful services. Again, please keep joining.
Mataji, do you have introduction of Maharaj?
Yes, Mataji. I just
Thank you,
received
Mataji.
it. Yes,
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji has sent. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Guru Maharajas. Thank you so much for every day being a part of Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call, Mataji. Please keep blessing us with your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji and assembled devotees. Please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sriji Leela Devi Dasi from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Sriji Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much for your wonderful association. Please keep joining Bhakti Sangha, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Nina Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjuri Leela Devi Dasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjuri Mataji, Manjuri Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances to Mata. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to assembled devotees here. Thank you so much for your beautiful chanting every day, Mataji. Please keep giving us your association. Hare Krishna. Devotees, today we are very fortunate that we will be having His Holiness Bhakti Prabhava Swami Maharaj will be giving us the lecture today, and he's from Brussels, Belgium. It's amazing because I myself also grew up for many years in Brussels, Belgium. So it's a special tie. One of my nationalities is Belgian as well. So His Holiness Bhakti Prabhava Swami Maharaj was born in Brussels in Belgium in 1960, and he met devotees in Ghent in the summer of 1992. From 1992 to 1986, he was active in Namahatta preaching in Ghent, that's in Flanders, and he joined the Radhadesh temple in 1996. In 1994, he met His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, who accepted him as his disciple and gave him his first initiation on 12th March 1998 and second initiation on 25th August 1999. On the 31st of May 2015, he was awarded sannyas initiation by His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Right after his first initiation, he became the first secretary for the newly formed European RGB. He organized the first European leaders meeting and went on several missions for European RGB. In 2004, Bhakti Prabhava Swami Maharaj was requested to become a secretary for the global GBC body and the secretary for the GBC Executive Committee. He fulfilled that role until September 2009. During that period, he attended all GBC meeting and all GBC mid-years meeting as GBC corresponding secretary. He organized the first GBC mid-year meeting held in Prabhupada Desh in Italy in October from 6 to 9 in the year of 2006. Now, since 2004 until 2015, he traveled here for a few months with His Holiness Prabhavananda Swami as his assistant in various East European countries. In 2004, he opened a new ISKCON center in Brussels. And from 1999 to 2004, he served as legal director for New Mayapur in France. In March 2006, he received a Global Excellence Award for acting in the interest of ISKCON. From 1996 to 2007, he engaged in management of the Radhadesh projects, mainly taking care of the supervising and administration, tax defense, and legal matters. As a chartered accountant, he also served as there as a chartered accountant, as legal director, trustee, teacher, student in the Bhaktivedanta College. Now, in 2008, he followed the spiritual leadership seminar in Ujjain, facilitated by His Grace Anuttama Prabhu. He studied in the University of Wales, that's in England, from 2004 to 2016, and earned an MA to 2010 in PhD study of religion in June 2016. Wow. He also graduated for studies in Bhakti Shastri, in Bhakti Bhava, and Bhakti Vedanta, all engaged from 2001 to 2011. Since 2012, serving as Bhakti Shastri and Bhakti Vaibhav teacher, conducting on-site and online teaching programs for the College of Vedic Studies. Since 2019, he also serves as Bhakti Vaibhav Bhaktivedanta teacher for the Mayapur Institute in the Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. Now, Bhakti Prabhava Swami is a member of ISKCON Board for Examination, a member of the Shastric Advisory Council, and a member of various committees in the Ministry of Sannyasi. He also serves as an advisory board member and teacher for the ISKCON Bhagavat Mahavidyalaya in Europe and North America. Now, Bhakti Prabhava Swami Maharaj has been preaching internationally since 1996, presenting seminars and lectures in Belgium and in other countries when invited. That was a wonderful biography for His Holiness. While we are waiting for His Holiness to join, devotees. Oh, I see Maharaj has already joined. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all our Guru Maharajas. Thank you so much for kindly accepting this invitation and giving us your association and enlightening us on Srimad Bhagavatam. It's interesting, Maharaj, I'm also a Belgian national. It's such a pity. When I was there close to Radhadesh, I never took the association. I had to come all the way in the US to understand ISKCON.
Yeah.
My humble obeisances at your lotus feet, Maharaj.
Accept
Whenever
my
you're
humble
ready.
obeisance, all glories to Srila
Whenever you're
Prabhupada.
ready, Maharaj, you can take over.
If you are from Belgium, do you speak Dutch or do you speak French?
Mais un peu.
Un peu. Tu parles français.
C'est très fort.
Très bien.
Yes, yes. But in the Flanders region, everybody spoke English, so I worked for the American companies
usually.
there too. My education was also in English. But yes, French we had to take as a secondary language. Yes.
Yeah, it's an international movement. I'm also British. British.
Oh, you are British as well. Okay. Yeah, I saw you from University of Wales. We lived in London for several years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. We will
Thank
speak
you.
on the Bhagavatam.
Yes.
That,
Ready,
I'm sharing the database and the verse we will discuss today. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Nam Cheva Narottanam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jamudiyayat Nasvejyavatasu Nityam Bhagavatasevya Bhagavatutamastake Bhakti Bhavatanastake. So this morning we will discuss from the 8th canto, the last chapter, Matsya, the Lord's Fish Incarnation, chapter 24, text 2 and 3. I first read the Sanskrit. Yadachtam addadarupam matsyam lokachurupsitam tamapakriti durmarsham karmarasta ishaspara etanno bhagavan sarvam yathavat bhaktumarasi Uttamasloka charitam sarvaloka sukhavayam. Now we will be reading the word for word translation. But just a moment. Yathartam, for what purpose? Adhathat, accepted. Rupam, form. Matsyam, of a fish. Loka Churupsitam, which is certainly not very favorable in this world. Tamaha, in the mode of ignorance. Prakriti, such behavior. Durmarsham, which is certainly very painful and condemned. Karmarasta, one who is under the laws of karma. Eva, like. Ishvaraha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Etat, all these facts. Naha, unto us. Bhagavan, O most powerful sage. Sarvam, everything. Yathavat, properly. Vaktum arasi, kindly describe. Uttamasloka charitam, the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sarva loka sukha avaham, by hearing of which everyone becomes happy. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki. What was the purpose for which the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepted the abominable form of a fish exactly as an ordinary living being accepts different forms under the laws of karma? The form of a fish is certainly condemned and full of terrible pain. Oh my Lord, what was the purpose of this incarnation? Kindly explain this to us, for hearing about the pastimes of the Lord is auspicious for everyone. Oh, purport. Parikshit Maharaj's questions to Sukadev Goswami was based on this principle stated by the Lord himself in Bhagavad Gita 4.7. Yada yadai dharmasya glanirбhavata bharata bhuttanam adharmasya tattatmanam shichamyam. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of their religion, at that time I descend myself. The Lord appears in each incarnation to save the world from irreligious principles, and especially to protect his devotees. Paritranaya sadhanam 4.8. Vamandev, for example, appeared to save the devotee of Bali Maharaj. Similarly, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepted the abominable form of a fish, he must have done so to favor some devotee. Parikshit Maharaj was eager to know about the devotee for whom the Lord accepted this form. I read the translation once again. What was the purpose for which the Supreme Personality of Godhead accepted the abominable form of a fish, exactly as an ordinary living being accepts different forms under the laws of karma? The form of a fish is certainly condemned and full of terrible pain. Oh my Lord, what was the purpose of this incarnation? Kindly explain this to us, for hearing about the pastimes of the Lord is auspicious for everyone. Om Jnanatimanasya Jnanza Shanakya Shaktiranmritam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namah. Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svamrapakadamayam Dadati Svapanantikam Vandeham Shigo Shiyuda Padakamanam Shigam Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupam Jagajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sadhivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saganalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Bandhu Chatpate Gopesha Kopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kansna Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvri Vrishabhana Sutadeve Pranamama Haripriye Pankha Kalptravasha Kripasinave Visha Patnam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namo Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswata Deve Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachai Desatani Srila Prabhupada Ki. So we are now in the beginning of the last chapter of the 8th canto. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a Mahapurana. That a Mahapurana speaks of 10 topics that the Sanatana Goswami in his Krishna Lila staff he prays Asadu sadhu tadayim mati nichot shataraka Hanaman shakada chinmam premyarit kantayospuram. It's a prayer to the Bhagavatam, and Sanatana Goswami prays, O Srimad Bhagavatam, O giver of saintliness to the unsaintly, O very uplifter of the very fallen, please do not ever leave me. Please become manifested upon my heart and my throat, accompanied by pure love of Krishna. It means actually the Bhagavatam is an incarnation of Krishna. That the Bhagavatam came not only to save the reader, but all those who come in contact with the Bhagavatam. Now the 10th canto here is dedicated to the topic of Manvantarani, the Manus, appearance of the Manus. It's one of these 10 topics discussed in the Mahapurana. That and in this canto it speaks about different Manus, but it is also dedicated to Krishna's pastimes in various ways. That especially the pastime to save both the devotees and the principles of religion. That so this is mentioned before here in the summary. This is a summary of the chapter. That so yes, that so this pastime is dedicated to serving devotees and preserving the principles of religion, as mentioned in the purport. That so Krishna does not only come to save the devotees, but also humanity by giving or preserving transcendental knowledge. That so we read here that this avatar, Matsya avatar, fish avatar, is appearing in different kalpas, different days of Brahma. So in the previous kalpa, it's mentioned here, a demon named Ayagriva went to take the Vedic knowledge away from Brahma at the time of annihilation. Ayagriva took it away. That also in the beginning of creation is mentioned. Madhu and Kaitaba stole the Vedas from the mind of Brahma. It is a special theft. The stealing what's in your mind. But anyway, Brahma lost the Vedas. That then, how did Brahma get the Vedas? That it's mentioned in the first verse of the Bhagavatam. Janmadhyasya yatom vayati taratessa tessa bhihyasparat teni Brahma hridaya adikave. Teni Brahma hridaya. Hrid means the heart. Krishna gave it to him to the heart. And it took a long time before to get all these Vedas. That he did a lot of tapasya before. 1,000 celestial years of tapasya, and then Krishna gave him the Vedas to the heart. And then these demons come and steal it. That at that time, Brahma was, he was praying to the Lord, please give me the Vedas again. That, but it took a long time before I got all the Vedas to the heart. So give me first the essence. That, and the Lord granted that request, and he gave the essence of the Vedas in 5 nights. Pancharatna. Pancha, 5 rat. 5 nights he get the Vedas. That so in these 5 nights he received Pancharatika Vidhi, the essence of the Vedas, which is deity, how to perform deity worship. That and then later he gave this Pancharatika Vidhi to Narada, and Narada distributed it, and then it became known as Narada Pancharatika. But that's our deity worship. Anyway, that is a story related to this, how Krishna gives us this transcendental knowledge. But this fish incarnation saved the Vedas. First, in a first kalpa, that the previous kalpa, that at the end of the previous kalpa. And then in this chapter, we find, which is Sakshusamanu, the reign of Sakshusamanu. Because we have heard in this canto, there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and each Manu lives for 71 Divya Yugas, or 71 cycles of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. It's a long time, long life from our calculation. So during the reign of Sakshusamanu, there was a king Satyavrata. And King Satyavrata, the whole story we find here in this chapter. King Satyavrata will become the next Manu, our present Manu. And that is Vaishvasata. The present Manu is Vaivasvata Manu. It's the son of the sun god. He became the son of the sun god. That is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. 4:1. Iman Vishvasvateyogam Puktavan Am Avyam. Vivashvan Manave Praha Manu Ikshva Kave Bravit. That Lord Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable knowledge of yoga to the sun god Vivashvan, and Vishvashvan instructed it to Manu. And the name of Manu is mentioned in the word-for-word translation. That of the name Vaishvata, that will be King Satyavrata. That was the same King Satyavrata. And the Manus are fathers of mankind. We know the Manu Samhita. This contains all the religious duties for humans, the Manu Samhita. And so the purpose of the Manus is to re-establish Sanatana Dharma, or Krishna consciousness. That's their mission of the Manus. And it is also the mission of Lord Chaitanya's movement. It's the mission of ISKCON. It's the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And it's also our mission. As members of ISKCON, we are meant to distribute this knowledge, how to perform Sanatana Dharma. All the same mission. And it's our duty to preserve this knowledge. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada presents Bhagavad Gita as it is. That's as meant by Lord Krishna, Prabhupada said. And Srila Prabhupada arrived in London, then he was brought to Tittenhorst. It's an estate, a manor, an estate of where John Lennon and Yoko Ono were living. They invited him. And when he arrived at the airport, they picked him up with a Rolls Royce. And the devotees were so excited and were chanting, engaged in chanting the holy name, completely absorbed when Srila Prabhupada arrived. But they forgot that some assistants should go with Prabhupada. But finally they forgot, and Prabhupada was with the taxi driver. He drove him. he drove him alone, yeah, to Tittenhorst. And there he had a meeting with the Beatles. And John Lennon asked Prabhupada, there are so many editions of Bhagavad Gita. Why are presenting again an edition of Bhagavad Gita? There are already so many. Prabhupada replied, all this, at that time there were about 380 editions, now there are much more, that of Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada said they are all interpretations. I'm presenting Bhagavad Gita as it is, as Krishna meant it. So that is our duty, to engage in that mission, to present this knowledge as it is. And that's going together with this, with the mission of the avatars, Matsya avatar here, that because in these two times the fish incarnation appeared, that in these two appearances the mission was the same, saving the Vedic knowledge. So this story is amazing, but by hearing this story we hear about the power of God, that what it means to be transcendental to the laws of nature. And Krishna has always some sense for humor, that because King Satyavrata was meditating, he was fasting, only drinking water, and he was meditating. And so there was a pond of water, and he was putting his hand in the water, and suddenly he saw a small fish, tiny fish, that and the fish spoke to him. That's already something very weird. A fish who speaks to you. And he said to the king, I'm so small, all this big fish will eat me. Please give me protection. And King Satyavata put him in a container, but immediately the fish was growing. And the fish said, but this container is too small, I cannot move here. And then he put the fish in a pond, and again the fish was growing, and the pond was too small. He put him in a lake, and then he grew again, and then finally he put him in the ocean, and he filled half of the ocean. So this is beyond our comprehension. We know when Prabhava avatar appeared, that Brahma was meditating, because at that time the demons, Ayagriva and Yaksha, had put the earth in the water of in the Garbhodoka ocean, in the nether regions of the universe, and he was meditating on the Supreme Lord to ask for help, because he had just created the first Manu, the first human, which was Swambhuva Manu, and Satarupa, the first human beings. But when they were created, Lord Brahma was instructing them, please engage in the in procreation, get children and populate the universe. That but then Swami said, but yes, good, but we don't have a place to stay. Where is that? And then, because the earth was down in the Garbhodaka ocean, so he was meditating for help. That then suddenly a speck of dust came from his nose, and he looked at a speck of dust, and it appears to be a very small boar. That and then it started to grow, the same thing, and filled up a big part of the universe. That so we see the same parallel there. That it's this is the power of God. That, but we see in both fish incarnations, the purpose was to save the Vedic knowledge. That because when the fish became very big, the fish instructed King Satyavata that he informed him there will be soon an inundation of the lower regions of the universe. That so he wanted him to build a boat and to get rishis on board, animals and all these things. That so yes, and the purpose was to save the Vedas, but also the rishis who were speaking the Vedas, because the Vedas emanated originally from the mouth of Brahma. That so in both cases, water was involved, and the Lord took the form of a fish. That of course in this canto, in this chapter, that there are also other topics. Ishanukata, the pastimes of the Lord, the appearance of the Lord, and the pastime of the Lord. But especially Posanam, that how protection, that because we will see at the end, after the inundation and so on, that the universe had to be repopulated. That so this is an amazing chapter, and we will hear all the details verse by verse. That but it is it is said here, the fish, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, wanted to show his potency to King Satyavrata, and thus immediately expanded his body in such a way that he could no longer be kept in the jug of water. Then the king put the fish in a big well, but the well was too small. Then he put the fish in a lake, but the lake was unsuitable. Finally, the king put the fish in the sea, but even the sea could not accommodate him. Thus, the king understood that the fish was no one else than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That so because King Satyavrata was a Kshatriya, and a Kshatriya is meant to protect others against being hurt. And that not only the king, it was a duty the king to protect others against being hurt physically, but also to protect their consciousness and engage them in Varnashram Dharma according to the Vedas. That, but the Vedas are most important. That without the Vedas, we cannot understand who Krishna is. That because Krishna is adokshaya, is beyond the pursuit of our senses. That and this is also an important aspect here. That the Vedas can only reveal the nature of the transcendental Lord. That because transcendental knowledge is beyond the pursuit of our senses. We cannot understand anything transcendental with our brain. That is not possible. That because Prabhupada explains, of course, we have four defects and so on. That imperfect senses, especially. We have a tendency to cheat and so on. That imperfect knowledge. That, but the Supreme Lord can not be understood by conclusive thinking, that by reasoning, that can only be understood through Sabda Brahman, transcendental sound vibration. And that is what the Vedas represent, is transcendental sound vibration. That brings up a methodology on how to understand transcendental knowledge. We can only understand transcendental knowledge from the transcendental source. And this is all explained in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Because this Bhagavatam is, of course, the Vedas means the four Vedas, Rig Veda, Atharva Veda, Sama Veda, Yajur Veda. But then you have also the Puranas, so many Puranas. And they discuss these 10 subject matters of a Purana. But to understand the Supreme Lord, we cannot read all these Puranas. We need a very long lifetime to read all these Puranas. That we are examples of those who read all these Puranas, who did, like Sutta Goswami. He read all the Puranas. That also his father, that Madan Marsana Sutta, I think, his father. But his father was killed by Balaram, because he knew all the Puranas, but he showed disrespect for Lord Balaram. So we may know all the Puranas, but not realize it. We can read it all. So we see also Markandeya Rishi. He got the blessing to live a few days of Brahma. He read also all the Puranas. But we don't have the time to read all the Puranas. And understand the nature of Krishna by reading all the Puranas. that we cannot do that. Therefore, on the instruction of Lord Chaitanya, the 6 Goswamis, we sing before reading Nectar of Devotion, we sing Nana Chastra Vicharana Ganitama Nipuno Sadharma Samstapaka Lokanatitakarino Tribhuvane Manye Sharanya Karo. For the benefit of all humanity, the 6 Goswamis has extracted the essence of all the Puranas about Lord Krishna and put it in their scriptures. But factually, Srila Vyasadeva did the same, because his spiritual master Narada Muni told Srila Vyasadeva that we are not feeling satisfied after writing all these Puranas and all this Karma Kanda stuff and so on, that and the Mahabharata, a big work, but it was not feeling satisfied. And Narada Muni said, it's because you did not point explicitly to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he ordered them, now you meditate on the absolute truth with devotion, and you read the Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam, it contains the essence of everything about Krishna and his incarnations from all the Puranas. That is the Bhagavatam. So that we don't have to read all these Puranas and so on. And we see that's a fact, that my life is dedicated more or less to the study of the Bhagavatam. And if we read the commentaries, that we have commentaries on the Bhagavatam, that by Sridhar Swami, by Sanatan Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Bhakti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, so many commentators on the Bhagavatam. And these commentators, they refer many times to many of the other Puranas, that the Harivamsa, that the Vishnu Purana, that so many scriptures, and like Jiva Goswami has written Gopal Champu, which is a commentary on the 10th canto, but these commentaries are based on scriptures. That these champus are, Ananda Vrindavan champu is also very nice, Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, but it's based on these Puranas. So what we have in the Bhagavatam is just a summary. But by reading the Bhagavatam, we can understand the greatness of the Lord and these 10 topics. That we can understand who Krishna is. That this is preparing us for gradually going to the 10th canto. In the 10th canto, we read about Krishna lifting Govardhan and so on. That by the end of the 9th canto, we should understand something about the greatness of the Supreme Lord and what it means to be transcendental. That so it is amazing. This chapter was discussed the battle on the heavenly planets, and then Bali with the demons at the end of the churning for nectar. That and then Bali Maharaj entering Bali Maharaj entering the heavenly planets, and then Vamandev appears. So we hear of Vamandev appearing, and now we're hearing about at the end here of the fish avatar. It's mentioned by Prabhupada in the verse also an abominable form, because the fish lives in water and urinates in the water, and it's abominable form. But when the Lord appears, it's different. That it's not an ordinary fish; it's a transcendental fish. That and we see this amazing pastimes, so that we come to understand Krishna can do anything. That is not limited. He's the unlimited Lord, and is unlimited, and we are unlimited small. And that brings up the realization, yeah, we become humble. We are servants of the Supreme Lord. And Krishna protects all those who take shelter of him. And this poshanam is very important. Like a child takes shelter of the mother. We take shelter of Krishna. But to take shelter of Krishna, we must first take shelter of the Vedas, this transcendental knowledge. Otherwise, we don't know who is Krishna. That Prabhupada mentions many times, when you want to know who your father is, you ask the mother. The mother is the Vedas. And the mother is the Vedas, and the Vedas explains who our father is, Krishna. So we need to take shelter of these Vedas. So that's more or less an introduction to this chapter. Are there any questions, please, or comments? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, thank you so much for holding up the essence so beautifully. Devotees, do you have any questions for His Holiness? Please feel free to raise your hands or unmute yourself. We have multiple devotees offering their obeisances unto you, Maharaj. From Ukrush Prabhuji, from Kiran Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Danvat Pranam Maharaj, very, very wonderful class. And they say Maya Matsyandra, right? Maya Matsyandra is regarding the Matsya Avatara of Lord, I think, because it is all, as you said, just like Vamana Avatara, it is very related, right? How Vamana grows as a Virat Swarupa, even the Matsya is also growing the same way. So they are not in an orderly way, because Matsya Avatara is before Vamana Avatara. But I think why Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question at this point, because maybe he remembered the same thing, how Vamana is also a Virat Rupa and Matsya is also a Virat Rupa growing and everything. And there are also different incarnations of Matsya, Maharaj, because this is one with Satyavrata Muni, and there is also another Matsya, like just like Varaha, we have Sveta Varaha and
two Varas.
Yeah. And also there are two Matsyas also, right?
Yeah. But it is said that there are two Matsyas, but both an inundation of water is involved, and in both cases they save the Vedas.
Regarding the Vedas.
Yeah.
This is very, very nice, Maharaj, when you said Vedas are like mother and they show who is the father, that is the Lord Vishnu. That is very, very nice understanding. Very wonderful class, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Any last minute questions for His Holiness? We also have Sunil Prabhuji. He's offering his Dandavat pranams to you. We have Pitambara Prabhuji raising your hand. Please go ahead and ask your question, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, my Dandavat pranams to you. Very good, Hare Krishna. So great. Thank you, Maharaj, for the wonderful explanation. Maharaj, I was reading the translation for the sloka number 2, which is, it says, the form of a fish is certainly condemned and full of terrible pain. So I couldn't understand the context in which it is said that the form of fish is condemned. Why is it that abominable? Because even Varaha avatar that way or whichever way. So why fish is abominable? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, of course, the form is abominable because what is your conscious in the body of a fish is practically nothing. It's, like I said, it's living in water, urinating in the same water. It's abominable. But of course, the form, the Lord as a transcendental form, it takes the form of a fish, but it's not a fish. It's only the form. It's transcendental. So it's not at all abominable for the Lord. But the Maharaj Parikshit is just wondering, well, why does the Lord take such an abominable form for that? But yes, it means the Lord can take any form he likes, but it takes a form according to his pastimes, because there's water involved, so it takes the form of a fish. In Elsparadev, yes, the earth was in the nether regions of the ocean, so the best form to dig up the earth was the form of a boar with his tusk, and dig up the earth that in that way, that according to his pastime, he takes a form. But is the same Supreme Lord? And that is what King Satyavrata immediately understood, and that this form is the first thing. The fish speaks to him. An abominable fish does not speak. No way. He speaks to him, and then he grows. He becomes bigger, bigger, and bigger. So it's just an ecstatic experience to have such a fish. That and that's the Supreme Lord. He reciprocates with his devotee in a certain rasa, and that's the rasa of hasta, humor. that and it takes such a big form. Therefore, the devotees, they appreciate these pastimes very much. They understand these are not ordinary pastimes. The Supreme Lord can do whatever he wants, and the devotees feel ecstatic when they hear about this.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much, Maharaj. So yes, these are the glorious pastimes and very sweet pastimes. Lord can do anything and anything under any circumstances.
Yeah.
Very nice, Maharaj. There is a follow-up question to this. I heard, that like Varaha, there are two, Sveta and Rakta Varaha. Similarly, Matsya also, you confirmed that yes, there are two. If you can shed the light on the first one is with the Satyavrata Muni, and then the fishing expands, and then Vedas to be saved. So what is the second Matsya avatar? If you can shed some light. Thank you,
this avatar is in the Shakshusa Manvantar, was the previous Manu. That because the present Manu will be King Satyavrata. It's the present Manu, Vaishvata Manu. That's interesting. It's still there now. But so the previous, but then some kalpas before there was another incarnation where the demon Hayagriva stole the Vedas from the mind of Brahman. He stole the Vedas and in this fish incarnation, this demon was defeated and the Vedas were saved. I don't know the details of the pastime, but this is the essence. But that means the avatars of Krishna, they appear at certain scheduled times. That it is said each, like Varadev has in Vaikuntha his own planet. His Vaikuntha planet that. So all these avatars, they are eternal, but they are sometimes appearing on a scheduled time, yeah. But these avatars are Lila avatars. Lila avatars are emanating from Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. These Lila avatars. Yes, all avatars come from Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. But of course, Krishna, he appears, he seemingly appears also as the other avatars, but this Krishna Stubharavam Swam is a different category because he's the source of all, he's avatari. Is the source of all avatars. And also Lord Chaitanya is the same Krishna. He's also avatari. Lord Chaitanya is not an incarnation. He's the source of all incarnations. That's important to understand the identity of Lord Chaitanya also. That in this regard. A few words I could say.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Maharaj. My dandavats to you, Maharaj. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Shiv Kumar Prabhu raised his hand. Maybe the last question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Maharaj, I had one question on the Puranas, Maharaj. Now we understand Bhagavatam is a Shuddha Bhakti scripture, and we understand Shuddha Bhakti is above the three modes. But any reason why Bhagavatam is categorized as a Sattvic Purana, Maharaj?
Yeah, so that's a good point. So there are many Puranas, but there are 18 Puranas that, and 6 in goodness, 6 in passion, 6 in related to the modes of ignorance. It does not mean that these Vedas are in ignorance or passion, but they are meant for people in ignorance, passion, and goodness. But the Bhagavatam is on the top category, and it is in pure goodness, transcendental goodness. Is the only Purana that. Of course, we have also Vishnu Purana, Padma Purana, which is a part of it, and so on. That so many Puranas. But the Bhagavatam is different. It is an incarnation of Krishna. It is Krishna himself, because it's only about Krishna. Krishna is the center of the Bhagavatam. All these incarnations are described, but it is made clear in the Bhagavatam. They are just all the other incarnations are incarnations, expansions of Krishna. That is what they are. And also the Bhagavatam gives a clear idea, explains what is Vishnu Tattva, and what is not. And that it gives us an insight of the reality, the spiritual reality. That because the Bhagavatam is the only Purana that explains about, gives descriptions of Vaikuntha, but also Goloka Vrindavan, which is beyond Vaikuntha and is of a special category. And that is pointed out in the Bhagavatam, that as understanding that essence is very important. That the Bhagavatam surely brings us to the highest love of Godhead, the love of the gopis, and all the 6 Goswamis, followers of Lord Chaitanya, they were all manjaris. They were all in a mood, in that mood. And so finally, the Bhagavatam brings us to an understanding who Krishna is, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that was missing in the writings of Srila Vyasadeva, to point that clearly out. And that is what makes the Bhagavatam very special. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There is one question on the chat. Do you have a time to take that?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So this question is from Her Grace Janaki Vishnupuram Mataji. She's saying, all glories to you, humble obeisances. How do we understand, Maharaj, how do we understand where these demons are coming from? Hare Krishna, Maharaj, but that's the question. Maharaj, how do we understand where these demons are coming from, and are they eternal as well? So I believe she's talking about internal demons that we have, and where they're coming from. Even though probably we are chanting and trying to do everything, yet there are so much demons and it's so difficult to combat. And are they eternal?
That first, there are 2 things. There are demons in Krishna's pastimes, and there are the demons in our heart. I will first speak about the demons in Krishna's pastime. Where do they come from? That I remember when we went through the entire Bhagavatam, because I did the Bhakti Vaibhav and the Bhaktivedanta course with Bhujan Prabhu and Mother Narayani. And when we came at the end, at the pastime where Krishna was so-called leaving his body and is wrapping up all his pastimes, then Bhujan Prabhu said, Krishna's pastimes are like a traveling roadshow. They perform, they set up a circus and they perform a drama and pastimes in one place. And then at the end of the drama, then they perform the drama, and all the artists take off their costumes. And then they go to the next. They take up their costumes. So in Krishna's pastimes, we have Duryodhana plays a demon role, and then others. Yeah, we have Dhritarashtra also, very interesting figure, and so on. But factually, they are all devotees, but they come to the material world to play a drama and to show us that the demons, how to conquer the demons. And similarly, in Krishna's pastimes, Vrindavan pastimes, where we have all these demons, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur analyzed them and explains that each demon represents an anartha in our heart. And we have to get these anarthas out. Where do these demons come into our heart? It's because we came to this material world with the intention to imitate Krishna. And that's not a good quality. And from this bad quality of trying to exploit Krishna's energy, all these demons came into our heart. And now we have to get them out. And that starts with understanding I'm not Krishna, I'm not a controller, I'm the servant of Krishna. And then by learning about devotional service, we drive them out. And this is, by the chanting of the holy name, by the practice of devotional service, as we understand from the Bhagavatam, getting these anarthas, these demons out. But we are the cause of these demons in our heart by our wrong mentality. The soul desires, and we desired the wrong thing. Now we have to change our desire and make our desire to please Krishna our first desire. We may have still material desires, but that must become the dominating desire to please Krishna. And then if we learn from the Bhagavatam how to drive them out. Thank you very much. I was very happy to be with you, and I hope
Maharaj, I'm so sorry, Maharaj. One question I wanted to ask. I saw in your bio that you joined in the Namahatta. So in Brussels, in the Flanders section, we still have the Namahatta going on there, Maharaj?
Yeah, I started that temple in 2004. We had a center for a few years in the 80s, but then after I joined, I spoke with Hridaya Chaitanya Prabhu, the temple president. I told him, look, I'm from Brussels. Let me try to start a center in Brussels. And I rented an apartment in Brussels in 2004 as a brahmachari. And I started a center there. That it was not easy, but then we moved to a bigger place, and finally now our temple, our center is 10 minutes walking from the European Parliament, and we get a lot of, it's in Etterbeek, we get a lot of people coming there, and it's interesting. When I go there, I never know in what language I'm going to speak. That sometimes there are French people, they don't understand English. I have to, and then you have Russian people who want to hear in English and get translated in Russian. And once I spoke there in 3 languages, in Dutch, in French, and in English at the same time. Anyway, it's growing, and it's still going on more than 20 years later. It's a small center, but every Sunday we have 40-50 people coming, and there's a nice congregation.
Very nice. I missed that out on Brussels. I don't know why. I lived very close to the Parliament. I was working there, Maharaj, at the European Commission, and don't know how I missed it. But I visited Radhadesh. It's so wonderful, so beautiful, the Radhadesh manor. I'll inspire all the devotees to go and see there. It's so huge, humongous. It's a beautiful farm, beautiful everything.
Radha Gopinath, very beautiful. Wonderful devotees there.
Yes. We will all offer our obeisances to His Holiness's lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। सद्गुरु श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्
Thank
भागवतम
you so
की
much,
जय।
Maharaj, for
भक्ति
coming
प्रभाव
on the
स्वामी
call.
महाराज की
You
जय।
have such a busy
निताय
schedule,
गौर
but still you
प्रेमानंदे।
came
हरि
and
हरि
you
बोल।
gave your association.
जय
We are
Hare
grateful.
Krishna.